Hey, JFK.
Hey,
How's it going?
it's going pretty good.
Good. Okay. Game time.
Okay. So basically, I want to seek your counsel about the Cuba. So basically, in Cuba, there's a whole bunch of the Soviet Union is sending lots of like missiles and nuclear power that way, and Cuba's obviously like really close to Florida, and so I've known for a long time that we're going to this plan started with Eisenhower, but like we're gonna send like a plane and we're gonna attack the Cuba.
Right. And so we've both kind of been read into what's going to happen and what the CIA is kind of thinking about doing. And I think that it's a very good plan. I think that the CIA spent a lot of money and time with their ideas and with their assets and with trying to figure out the best solution to the issue with Cuba and the Soviets. And I don't know, I don't agree completely with the idea, just because I think if we could maybe send more troops over with the Cuban rebels, I think that could make a really big difference with the battle that's going to take place. And I think if we sent more guys over, that we could end the conflict a lot faster and with a lot less chance of Russia maybe coming in and kind of playing a role in the battle.
So you feel like that would be rushed if I sent troops?
No, I think you should send the troops. I think if we rushed not necessarily rushed the operation, but if we had that footing, then we rushed Cuba with a lot of our military assets and with a lot of our military resources. I think that can make a really big difference in the battle.
I think the risks are just too big with the small amount of troops we're planning to send in. If Russia has people there, they can be easily overthrown, and so we have the manpower, so why not use it? And I know that it's politically, a lot of people don't like war, and it doesn't always look good involving lots of troops and getting people over there, but you limit casualties. So I guess, what's your motivation in doing this? I know that you came into the presidency and it was already in place and in motion.
Well, obviously, it's a really big threat to us because we're not on good terms with Russia. And so I think my main motivation is just it's threatening. They have nuclear power. They can really hurt us.
I agree. I think if we allow Russia to put this kind of artillery so close to home that could just create even more tension between the two of us. We're really trying to avoid a nuclear conflict and a nuclear attack on both sides.
Yeah.
And I feel like Russia is putting these resources into Cuba, and they're kind of trying to use Cuba as a third party to our situation. And so I feel like if we did this rush of taking out Fidel and taking the Russians out of power in Cuba, I can't really see the Cubans, not the Cubans, but the Russians and the Soviets really getting, I can see them getting offended, but not to the point of, nuclear bombings, because they're putting these missiles right in front of us. And so I can't see us really being expected to not do anything about it, And so I feel like if we went through with this plan, that we could justify it to the Soviets and say, this is just us trying to be, cautionary towards you because we need to protect ourselves and our citizens. And so this is one way that we can do so. And there's no reason why we can't resolve the conflict just between the two of us right now, and no bombs need to be, exchanged. We don't need that kind of, present exchange between the two of us.
So you think I should approach Russia? Well, the president, and we should resolve it too?
Yeah, after we, take care of Cuba. And I feel like with this, I want to call it, the blitzkrieg, way of doing it. That's how the Germans did in World War II. They just rushed in and just overwhelmed the enemy in such a way that they really didn't have any kind of casualties.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for me to act because, this plan has been in place for a long time, and during my presidential election, I really pushed anti-communism, and so I feel a lot of pressure.
And I agree, and I think that this would be a great way to show that you are anti-communist and that you are handling the situation.
Okay.
I agree, and I think you need to counsel with your advisors because they have their predetermined direction before you came in, and you might have a better way of doing it. They might have a better way, but you need to do it together instead of you just making the decision and saying, "Hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is what's going to happen," or just pushing over and letting them take over. So make sure it's two-sided and you get both sides in. And it is a delicate situation trying to get someone who's not a communist leader in there and not be influenced by Russia. And by being so hostile, you don't want the people to revolt against you and a lot of the country itself. And so I do feel like we have to be careful there. But as you counsel with your advisors, that's going to be key in solving those individual problems.
Okay.
And something I just thought of as well is, I think that you have a lot of CIA influence right now as well, and I think that if with your advisors you talk with some of the military advisors as well and getting some of their ideas, I think that could really help the situation as well and getting more of a military background as well.
Yeah, so I could gather more information and come up with a better solution or
a more strategic solution. Yeah, I think that can make a really big difference in this upcoming battle at the.
From the future, you don't remember.
Oh, but I know what's going to happen though.
Yeah, we already chose the name for the
I know.
operation.
I was
It was between bay turkeys and bay
Pigs are more tasty. But yeah, hopefully that's what you wanted. I hope he doesn't want us to not fight because we're definitely fighting. So if that's not what you want,
pigs.
sorry.